hello people, today I'm going to be doing a review for the new Warner Brothers HBO Max movie or whatever, In the Heights. I thought this movie was going to be premiering on HBO Max tomorrow, but I go on it today and I'm like, oh, I guess I'm watching this tonight. So, yeah, In the Heights, it's a musical, and that's all I really knew going into it. And the reason why that's the only thing I knew is because I don't really like musicals, and that is not going to affect the score that I give this movie. My personal bias will not affect the score that I give this. I want to straight out say, this is a good movie and I give it a good score. But my problems with it don't affect that. Because the problems I have are almost a problem that I have. So I'm just gonna get it. Because the thing I wrote on my cons list is the genre, because I just don't care for this musical genre. And the biggest problem that I have with this movie is within the first, people don't like exposition, but I particularly don't like exposition that's fed to you through a song, because they're giving you, because this is the song. What musicals, that way I see them when they're giving exposition through a song. Okay, this is this person, you need to know this and this about them. And that's really a song and a musical feels to me. It doesn't really feel like much beyond, like, I just don't like being fed information like that through a song, because guess what, if it was not in a song, it'd come off as like horrible exposition, and it feels like songs is almost used as an excuse to give horrible exposition, but it's music to your ears, so it's fine. And I totally get it. Don't hate on me in the comment section. That's just the way that I see it. Like I said, I still like this movie and I'm gonna give it a good score. So what I said there, don't get offended. I've never liked musicals. It's just not my thing. So, yeah. And my other thing I have written down as a con is maybe it kind of leans on what my personal bias. I think it could lose about half an hour. It's 2 hours and 23 minutes or 13 minutes, I believe. And I really think there's a solid half an hour that can really, be gone. Because, like, the first hour, I was like, I guess that's not my thing. It's okay. It's not a bad movie. It's just not my thing. The second hour cuts in, and gets introduced, or the the last hour and a half is where I was really starting to feel on board, and I started to become a little bit more invested. But the first hour, I was like, you guys could take some of this stuff out. But it really depends. Do you like musicals? Because if you like musicals, you're going to completely disagree with me. So, yeah. So let's talk about what I did like about this movie. The heart of the play, the heart of the characters, and everything that was put behind it is just so prominently there. Like, every single shot, this movie is shot beautifully, by the way. There's just so many great slow-mo shots of this town or not, no, I don't want to call it a town, but this place in New York that you see. It's just all shot, well, I don't even know if it's New York, I'm sorry. Wherever the heights are, looks beautiful. It's all shot really well. There's some great slow-mo. And there's many times where I was like, that's a good shot, and said it out loud. So, yeah, and like I said, the heart of the story is just so prominently there, and that's what really sold me on the movie. The production value, everything is just so well crafted and so well made. I can tell you for sure, this will be nominated for many Oscars. Well, I'll be kind of upset if it, wins Best Picture. Yes, I will be a little upset about that. But if it does, I understand. But I don't think we'll have a Best Picture this early in the year. But yeah, the production, everything was just made so well when it comes to the musical scenes. Even though I wasn't necessarily enjoying like the songs and all that, I could really respect how well it was made, and how much work was put behind it. And even the scenes that weren't musicals was all really done extremely well. It wasn't like you were watching, like with musicals, sometimes with some of them I feel like it's almost like scrolling through YouTube. You watch a music video, then you watch a clip from a movie, and you could tell like that was filmed for a music video and that was filmed for a movie. But this felt very consistent on how it was made. You could tell it's done by the same people. It felt like it was very a director or an artist or whoever wrote the play or whatever. You could tell it was a vision, and you could tell that it wasn't like one person did this and one person did that. And so it all blended really nicely. The acting in this movie is just phenomenal as well. Everyone does a fantastic jobs. I don't know these actors by name, sorry about that, but I will say that all of them, the lead did a fantastic job. Like I said, the last hour is what really sold me on this movie. This last hour, I will say, is, in my opinion, like, if I had to like grade it by like first half, second half, I'd give like the first half maybe like around 6.5, and like the last and like the last hour and a half is like a solid 9.3. So I figured I should probably mish them together to make my final score, because I feel like this is the best score possible that I can give, because I don't want it to give it, like a, because I'll just say, if I liked musicals and musicals were my thing, I'd probably give this like a, if musicals are my thing, I'd probably give it a solid 9.3, because if I really connected with the second half as much, I think I would, if I liked musicals more, it'd be a 9.3. But my score, what I feel comfortable giving this movie, is an 8.3 out of 10. Like I said, if you love musicals and you're really anticipating this movie, you are going to adore it. If you're not really a biggest fan of musicals like me, you'll probably end up liking the movie, thinking you could lose about 30 minutes. But besides that, if you're not into musicals, like I said, I do recommend checking this movie out. Give it a chance. Give it more than the first hour, because there really is a central heart of the film, and it really does wrap up very nicely. So, yeah, anyways, that's my review for In the Heights. Comment down below what you guys thought, especially if you're not into musicals. I'm really curious to see if it's kind of universally like, yeah, this was good even though it was a musical. So, yeah, anyways, so that's all I have to say. So like, share, subscribe, and stuff like that, and adios.